Hello, welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole, and I'm so glad that you're here. I have my Cascade journal basket on my desk this morning, and I'm going to spend a few minutes looking through some of the like detritus from some recent projects that I've done. So I have these strips from the Oracle deck that I'm working on. I also have a couple of alcohol ink, um, just like blobs. What do we call these? I don't know. Are they paintings? I don't know what they are. They were just fun to play with. So I have a couple of these. I have these strips, and I also have sitting off here to my left, I have this. Um, Rolodex card, and I cut out these two flowers because I was gonna like do something like this and make it into a card, and I might still do that. But just as I was sitting here looking around, I was thinking that these actually might, you know, could potentially. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry about that, folks. It sounded like my cat was hawking up a hairball in my office chair, and I didn't want to deal with that later. So she wasn't, though. She was just sneezing. So no hairballs involved. Anyway, I grabbed these because I just thought, like, they sort of fit the vibe of this journal a little bit. So maybe, oh, I like that. Anyway, I've got a few things on my desk, and I thought I would grab a page in here and see what we could do with it. I think I overworked this one. I think I put too many of these stamps on here. I should have used fewer stamps, and left more of the background intact. But what's done is done. Cat is still over here sneezing. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. That was another apology there, folks, for jumping up to go check on the cat. The problem is that she is like 15 years old, and I'm just very nervous about her health. Just very worried about her at this point. All right. So I think I'm going to move on to this. This is the next page in the journal. And I might bring this down a little bit so you can kind of see a little more closely what I'm working on. I have this tiny scrap that I must have done something with when I was, let's see, I was working on some of these little scraps and I put some things together, and this looks like it might be a part of that project. I don't actually remember doing it, but it's a little heart punch with like two scraps kind of glued together and some pen like sketching around the, is it not focusing? There we go. So I just thought the blue on this kind of goes with this little, I have a little flap that I built in when I made it, and this says rise by lifting others, and I just thought that was super cute. I love that. I kind of like that right there. Although I am thinking, because all of these edges are like a torn edge, and then this is so like square, I think I might tear it along the edge just to give it a more organic shape. So yeah, see, I like that much better. I definitely like the torn edge better. And now I can kind of put this on here. I find my glue. Sorry. This is what happens when I kind of clean my desk up. Not that it's clean. It's definitely not, but it's cleaner. And the things that I thought I knew where they were are not now where they should be. Did that sentence make any sense? I feel like I did not make any sense there. I'm back from, let's see, this weekend it was hiking in Shenandoah. with my husband. Last weekend, I was gone camping with a group of students. I feel like the fall is just super busy. It's the perfect time of the year to sort of get out and do, stuff. The weather is cooler than, midsummer, but not too cold yet. The leaves are beautiful. And it's just a great time of year to get out and do stuff. So, the past few weeks, the past couple of months actually, really have been just a lot of stuff outside. We did kayaking at the beach. I went zip lining. We had our vacation to Florida. I've been camping with students. I went to the Renaissance Fair. Like I said, just hiking in Shenandoah National Park. So I'm looking ahead at the next couple of months, and I don't think I have any like weekend stuff planned pretty much through Christmas. So I am excited. As much as I enjoy getting out and doing all of those things that I plan and schedule. Oh, look, there's the cat. Um, it's nice sometimes too to have some downtime where I can just like be here in the studio doing what I'm doing. I have to relocate her because this is um yeah, this is not going to work. You can't just sit here and lay down. You really can't. Um I'm I love you too, but you're going to have to go somewhere else. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, I relocated her to the windowsill behind me. I've now got this little strip of this pattern on here, and I just thought like maybe somehow I can incorporate this into whatever I decide to do on this other page. I really like it when elements sort of repeat. So even though it's just the tiniest little scrap of this pattern, I think that it will pick up the pattern on here. It just makes it feel connected and cohesive. But what do I want to do? This is a bigger page and I kind of want a bigger focal point. I don't know exactly what I want to do. So I'm pulling out this basket because I had put a bunch of stuff in here that I thought I could use. So I'm going to start with this and see if anything jumps out at me. I want to use, I feel like I just have this pattern, this like stamped pattern on the page behind it. So I don't want to overuse that too much. I already used some of this here, but maybe that would make like a fun little tab for this thing. Let's try that. Uh, it's hard cutting these little sequins. Right, so I just have a little tiny piece of the sequined. It's not washi tape because it's not sticky. I'm gonna have this like that. Do we think? Or on the side? Kind of like it on the top. Okay. I'm gonna get a stapler instead of trying to do this with glue. And I've got staples. This little stapler with these fun colored staples that I think will also work well for this. If I can get this tiny little stapler to work the way I want it to. All right. All right. So now I've got a little tab stapled to the top with like fun sequiny stuff. Love that. Definitely liking that. It didn't give me a focal image, but I still like it. I have a lot of background scraps in this. Some of these. Wait, I already used one of these though, didn't I? I was gonna say I've got some of these uh, that would make a good like focal image, but I already have one of these little like heart cards here. So I don't want to necessarily overdo the focal points. The background elements would be fine to repeat, but like the focal elements I think should be kind of like individual. So I'm really not seeing a lot here time, progress of existence. I don't love that. I really love this, but I don't think it works on this page or maybe even for this project. I mean, it would look good on this page. I like the color of that. So what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I like the contrast with the dark on the side here, kind of comes along in with the dark over here. But I don't like the square shape because I've got kind of a square shape right here. Or maybe I do. Maybe I like that because it brings in that repetitive pattern I was talking about. I don't know. Sometimes you have to think about things for a while. I have this strip. I was looking to see if I had any like interesting patterns. I don't think I want stripes. More stripes. The only thing that I have that's at all interesting is this. I'm kind of just layering elements on the page. Uh, I don't mind that too bad. Maybe to give some like kind of a, maybe I need the focal. Let me make some room. I keep bumping stuff with my arm. Okay. Maybe because I've got this here and this here, maybe I need the focal image to be sort of in the middle on this side. Um, what do I want? I don't want that. I don't like that. I like it going up and down. I like this little pink bit in the background, like popping through that hole in the machine strip. All right, I'm gonna start by just gluing this down just very lightly. Like I could still peel it up later if I decide to change it, but I'm just putting like the littlest bit of like glue stick here. Oh no, I want this down further. Whoop. Just putting a little bit of glue stick down to just kind of hold that in place so I can audition it and see if that's really where I want it. See if that's what I want to do. This I think needs to be. Somehow this glue is really not doing anything. It's not helping at all. I think it's because the page is not flat, so it's only sticking. I need to hold it up. It looks crooked. Let's try this again. All right. So we've got some background for a focal image, but I still think I want something. What have I got? Where do those flowers go? Do I want a flower here? I kind of like that. Two flowers? No, two is too many. No, that's not gonna work. I don't think so. What to do? What to do? This is the tricky part about project like this is, just kind of playing around and trying to figure out what you want. Oh, maybe I could do it as, no, I don't like that. I like it against the black of this, like this little strip here. Glue that down. Glue a little strip there. So far, I like this as a focal image, but I'm not 100% sold because I think it kind of blends into the background. Even with the black here for some contrast, I just don't think it's enough. I still think that it's not, um, yeah, doesn't quite contrast enough. So I'm grabbing out my fodder keeper that I made a couple of years ago through fodder school. I'm just going to flip through it and look at some of the handmade watercolor. I don't think the colors are going to be right. These leaves are mostly like more natural colors. Let's rearrange things here. Yeah, see, I don't know. I kind of like the shape of that, but I don't know if I like that color. I wish I had. I didn't do those. Got over here. I have an apple. No, I don't like the apple. I don't think any of the mushrooms are going to be the right color. Let's check some of these rainbows. Maybe a rainbow? I do like the colors there, but yeah, I don't think I like the rainbow against this background. I just don't think that that works. I think it needs to be something a little different. I really like the shape of the leaf. I might have to just make a new leaf in a color palette that will work better. So I got this one. Oh, I do kind of like that. That was a little unexpected, but I like that it pulls in like the purple and the blue from here, sort of again across the page. I might go with that. Right now, that's my top pick. Just gonna flip through here really quickly to see if there's anything else. I do have some flowers. Get these darker ones. That one's not bad either. This one is more of that purple and blue. I don't actually like it as much though. I have some of these that I actually really do think would be good, but I don't think they're going to be great on this page. All right, so I'm going to leave them. Maybe another day. Mm, I already used one of these, didn't I, on an earlier page? I did. Hmm. Do I want some of this on here? I sort of like it peeking out behind. What do I think about that? It pulls the purple in from here and here. How does it look with this? No, I think it's too much. I think it's too much. I'm going to leave this out. Ta-da-da. This is what auditioning is all about. You try stuff, and if you don't like it, I don't want to do a heart because I already have a heart right here. Although some of these hearts might work really nicely. Let me try a star. Let's go with this dark color. Oh, I like the star because it's like a planet. I like the star. Hmm. I even like a couple of stars, maybe. There's 3 stars, too many stars. Nope, I like it. That's what I'm going with. That's it. I don't, you know that you know that you know when you stop auditioning. And they're like, no, I don't even need to look anymore. I'm gonna do this. All right. So here we go. I love this. And I love the colors. I love that this brings in this red. And then this one brings in like the purples. I like the star with the planet. It all just works. And rise by lifting others. It's perfect. It's perfect. Trying to find my glue again. That's what happens when I put things down. I need how cool would it be? This is such a weird thought. You guys are gonna think I'm strange, but how cool would it be to be like go-go gadget with like all of your crafty arty implements in your hands, like paintbrush and glue and scissors and whatever. I think that would be neat. Um, but again, that's probably a measure of how strange I am that I even had that thought. Oh, it's Sunday, folks. It's been a long week, and I have a new one starting tomorrow. The problem with doing fun stuff on the weekends, like hiking and traveling and whatnot, is that you don't get to rest and like relax. It is recharging. Like I am sort of becoming um do I want this under? Maybe I do to kind of connect all of these stars together. Um I'm kind of discovering the differences in the kinds of rest. If any of you ever listen to Kendra Adachi, the lazy genius, she talks about like the 7 kinds of rest that you need. And she talks about the difference between things that relax you and things that recharge you. And I do feel like hiking, we went to Shenandoah and we hiked Stony Man, and then we did Bear Fence, which is a rock scramble. And I realize it's not, like the most challenging hike ever, but it was a challenging hike for me. I am short and not as in shape as I could be for a 46-year-old woman. So it was a challenging hike for me. Regardless of whether anybody else would say it was challenging or not. Um, I had wanted to do it for years. It was on my bucket list, and I finally convinced my husband to attempt it with me. And we had a blast. We had the best time. Like we had an excellent. It was so much fun. We had a great time. It was perfect. The weather was colder than we thought, but it turned out to be totally fine. I think I'm glad it wasn't hot. Yeah. And I do feel recharged. I feel like excited by that, right? Like renewed, um, what have you. But I didn't rest. I will say that it was a very like physically strenuous weekend with the hikes, and then we did Luray, and I drove, and it's 4.5 hour drive there and back, so there was a lot of time in the car. I don't feel like I had a relaxing weekend or a restful weekend. And that is okay. Of course, like not every weekend has to be restful or relaxing, but uh it does make it hard to sort of like charge into the next week. Um, so here's what I've got. I've got some contrast here with the dark colors coming in. I've got these colors, and I've got the star shape in contrast to the round shape. I think the white around these stars helps them to sort of pop off the page. They're not sticking down super well. Um, I might have to go back in off camera with just like a different kind of glue. Uh, this is a little tiny container of, I'm pretty sure this is Eileen's tacky glue that's in here. Let me see. Okay, well, I don't even know where the original bottle is. It's not over there on the shelf where I thought it was, so I can't check. It was just behind something else. Oh, yeah. So this is Eileen's tacky glue, which is usually pretty effective as an adhesive. Um, Although this little bottle is driving me crazy today. Anyway, I might have to go in and edit the glue selection a little bit later. We will see. Because this is just not sticking. And it's part of it is because it's heavy duty watercolor paper. Maybe I should try to peel these before I stick them down. I kind of need to do that. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. What do I need? Do I need anything else on this page at all? Do I just want to leave it like that? It's pretty simple. We've got some words. Do I need words anywhere else? Like this page is really, hmm. Maybe I could do some handwriting behind this along on the black, like in white. Some really messy. I could just do some like journaling. Um, I'm just scribbling a little bit to make sure I've got some ink coming out of my pen. I could, where do I want it to go? I want it to come up like here a little bit and sort of come over in this way. So, um, right. So I just did some super messy writing. Oh, I guess I should have. It kind of didn't come up high enough because I wanted a little bit of it to sort of peek out across the top. I like that a little bit of it peeks off to the side, but I want a little bit of it up here too. So I'm just going to say, all right, there we go. Is that better? Pretty good. So my handwriting is like super messy. I do that intentionally so that you can't really read what it says because I want the intention or the mean, like, I don't know. I just want to get like the vibe onto the page without necessarily anybody else being able to read it later. In this case, it's not anything that I need to hide, right? It just says, today I hope that what did I write? Now I don't even remember. It was like, today I hope this journal inspires anyone who reads it to reach, no, not to read it, anyone to reach for the stars and chase their dreams because that's the only way we'll ever achieve them. So that's what I said. Nothing super poetic or, deeply meaningful, but I just wanted to sort of put that intention on the page. And I didn't want anybody to struggle too hard to try to read it. So I made it pretty unreadable. And I like that. I think it works. Just peeks out from behind here. And then it takes up some space on this page so it doesn't feel quite so like plain and unembellished. I think it just helps to add a little bit of a layer. All right, this was a quick one today, guys. I'm going to stop here and call it, I think, at this point. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, so I thought I was done with this, but after looking back at it, I feel like I need something like this page just sort of like falls off the edge, right? Like there's no border here. So I thought I would go in with my black ink pad and just ink up like this side of the page. Really messy and just trying to sort of like provide maybe a little, oh, I got a little bit on the star. That's okay. Just a little bit of, I don't know, to like corral the elements on the page a little bit. I think I like this. I think this is really working. So, I want to make sure I'm only getting this page. I don't mess up any of the previous pages. I like when the black ink is kind of messy and it gets onto the texture of the page a little bit. But I really think that makes a big difference. So that's what we ended up with right there. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Thanks, folks. For real this time. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, folks, I am back again. I just can't leave this one be. I realized that I didn't use the scrap from this flip page that I wanted to use. And so I thought that it would be maybe, I was kind of auditioning, like, where did I want it? And I sort of like it right here. It sort of creates I don't know, it just like helps to accentuate the square shape here. We've got the square shape down here, and I like the blue, and then it connects when you flip the page over. You've got kind of a sense of these elements being cohesive. So I'm just going to glue this little piece down with the glue that has been driving me crazy all day. Again. All right. Woo, this cat has really been nope, 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 nope. She is in my face here today. All right. Okay. Nope. I can't sit here. Can't sit here. Gotta move. Oh. All right. So she's just gonna lay down. Okay. Third time's a charm, folks. I'm really gonna be done this time. I promise. Uh, I'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.